Towards the end of October, I mentioned in one of my posts that I had earned a £50 Sainsbury's gift card for taking surveys, and it was one of those long haul ones, and I think it had taken me about a year of doing surveys to get that. But it's not one of those survey sites that gives you lots of surveys. They don't come up that often, and I often get screened out. So it's one of those sites where you just do the surveys, you don't think about it, and then at some point you suddenly remember to check your points. So I had this £50 gift card, and I said about how, that's going to last me months if I'm just buying my usual food on it. However, I have now spent it all. It's taken me just under a month to spend the whole thing. However, I wanted to run through what I have actually spent it on. I haven't spent frivolously on it. I have used it as I normally would, and for things that I know I needed to buy and I wanted to keep the costs down. So I was still buying all my yellow stickers, and I managed to save £3.04 on yellow stickers on full price items. I don't buy an awful lot in Sainsbury's on yellow sticker. The yellow sticker deals tend not to be as good as Morrison's, and the Sainsbury's is about a 15-minute walk away, so it's not like I can just nip over the road and see what's in. So I tend to plan the visits around specific things, so I'm not always there at the right time. I wouldn't be going to Sainsbury's in the evening because it's just a walk away, and it's not a very safe walk away either. So I chopped off £3.04 on full price items by buying yellow sticker. I also used it to buy things that I saw on my cashback apps, so that I could turn some of that gift card spend back into cash that went into the bank. And I managed to cash back £6.75 of that gift card in cash by using Shopmium and Checkout Smart and Green Genie. And the other thing that's happening at the moment is the supermarkets are all offering more points to get you to spend more in Sainsbury's and Morrison's, and I don't know if Tesco are doing it as well, but my Morrison's and Sainsbury's are the ones that I see doing this a lot, and there's a deadline. So Morrison's is doing spend every week for 4 weeks and earn points, and you have to hit the end of the week before it moves on to the next week or you lose it. Sainsbury's has been doing spend X number of points and you get up to so many levels, and as you reach the end of a level you'll get a bonus of points. So I reached the end of the first level, and I think I had to spend I have 200 points, and I made an extra 500 points, and that goes through until the 10th of December. So it depends on whether or not I go down and get more stuff. I probably will, because I still use Sainsbury's, and I've still got, as of today, 10 more days to take advantage of that. So there are these chunks of points that you can get. So when I look at the value of the extra point, or all the points that I've made at Sainsbury's, picking up things that are in my Smart Save where it offers you certain things and you get points on them, like it's very receptive to what you normally buy. So if last time you bought a jar of peanut butter, it'll offer you peanut butter again, and the points vary, it changes every time. So with that, and having reached one of those first bonus levels, I made back £4 and £9 in points that went onto my Nectar card. So that is physical cash that I can now spend. And I also used it to buy some of the Christmas presents that I wanted to get, to try and keep my Christmas bill down. Now I'm going to do a separate post on Christmas, how I am negotiating my spend on Christmas this year. I always stick to the same budget, although a couple of years ago I think it was £200 for Christmas. This year it's £150, and I just have to be really careful about what I buy. Every gift is considered. There's no junk in there. It's stuff that I know people will either want, have asked for, or I know will be useful. But it doesn't mean they're getting boring stuff. It's stuff that I know that people will want, will use, or couldn't get themselves because they don't know how to. So £14.50 of that gift card spend was towards Christmas presents, and that again helps me get towards that bonus for the points. And I also bought all my Christmas cards, because Sainsbury's have a really good card selection actually. I always buy my cards there when I have gift cards, so I never spend any money on cards. I don't really like buying cards. I think it's a waste of money, but I do it for people that buy me cards, and it's one of those things that I've really struggled to get out of. At some point, I mean, I've managed to get out of buying Christmas presents for certain people because I don't think it's worth the money. I don't think the people need the stuff. And with others, I have worked out to just tone things back a bit. And people understand my situation, so there's no one getting narky with me because, like, I don't buy my godsons presents ever because their parents buy them everything they could possibly want. You know, they get a lot more than I ever did as a kid. You know, they get hundreds of pounds worth of electronics every year, and they pretty much get everything. There is nothing I could buy them that they would notice. They wouldn't care. And they're teenage boys are at that weird age where all they want is gaming consoles and new TVs and stuff. They ain't getting any of that from me. So I don't buy any Christmas presents for them or for my best friend and their mum. But my best friend's birthday is just before Christmas, so I always make sure that I acknowledge her birthday with a present. I've been hand making her presents. I did it last year. I'm going to do it this year, so that won't cost me anything. And she always hand makes presents as well now, because she's a crafter as well. So it's like an exchange of handmade, which is great because it means that, you know, it's keeping the cost down, and it's a nicer thing. You know, the handmade stuff is the stuff I've really hung on to. So that helps to keep that down. So I have my £150 budget. I've got a list of everything that I have bought, everything that I plan to buy, how much money I've got left, and I research everything before I buy it. So I will do a separate post on that because I think it warrants it. It's a good time of year to start talking about how you can, you know, think more carefully about Christmas. Don't just lob stuff, and explain to people I don't have the money to spend on this. You're going to have to wait, or you're just going to have to go without. I mean, our lives are quite spoiled even by standards, you know, of 30 years ago and people in other countries. Christmas should not be about how many presents you get and the value of your presents. It should just be about a coming together of people to enjoy the festive holidays. That's what I think it should be about. If no one bought me presents for Christmas, it wouldn't bother me. It really would not bother me. But I don't come from a family that can't buy things. It's an acknowledgement that money likes to be spent in my family. So it's a kind of a little bit of a keeping up with the Joneses, but within a budget. I set the budget that I know won't cause me any anxiety or financial distress. I've planned it so that I've bought a certain amount of stuff in November, and then the rest will be in December, and it'll all be bought on the credit cards, and then so the second half of Christmas spending will be paid off in the new year. But again, that's not because I can't afford it, it's because it's just nice to space it out. Anyway, I will do a separate post on that. So yeah, so I've spent my Sainsbury's gift card. I've looked at what I've managed to claw back, which I think comes to £10.80. I've effectively cashed back in as cashback and got back on points, and I've saved some money on Christmas because the gift card was essentially free money. It wasn't actual cash I had. So I've clawed back £17.50 on my Christmas budget, which means I can either spend £17.50 more elsewhere, or more likely I've just saved myself some money, and that means that my Christmas budget is going to be cheaper this year. So there we go. That's my Sainsbury's gift card update. It has been officially blown, although I have 65p left on it, so that's going to be some yellow sticker leaks or a bag of potatoes or something, I should think.